Question, do you know who your mayor is? Stay tuned and find out. Hello everyone and welcome to CityWorks. I'm Ron Roberson. As we begin a new year, many of us also have new mayors. Today we're going to get a chance to meet them up close and personal. Joining us now is Barbara Delgleize, Mayor of the City of Huntington Beach. Mayor, welcome.
Thank you, Ron. So nice to meet you on stage here.
Yes, indeed. And when I heard you were coming, I said, oh, this is going to be an easy one because I know how much you love your city and I know how much you're putting in the work to make your city really prosper and just grow. So thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Let's get right into it. And here's an event that I'm really excited about, and I will be there, by the way.
Good.
And that's the air show that's coming. Tell us about it.
Well, our city is so proud and so excited. As you know, we had an air show last year. It was our first, and it was extremely successful. We had the Thunderbirds and the Breitling team, and they were amazing. This year, not to be outdone, we're going to have the Blue Angels, the Canadian Snowbirds. And the timing is a little bit different this year because the Blue Angels were available September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. The setup's pretty much the same, Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 4. And, you know, the city learned some things too, and I think as far as facilities and setup and all that, but overall, everybody was so happy. It was almost a reverent experience walking down the beach and listening to the comments, seeing the families just really enjoy the show. And it was a show. Every 12 minutes there was a new show. There was a new, you know, something happening. So we had a great time, and the city's very much looking forward to it. And we're, you know, the other thing is, Ron, we're just proud.
Yes.
We're a very patriotic city, and I think that may be a part of it, you know. So I had the good fortune to meet two of the pilots a couple of weeks ago, and you know, one of their favorite movies, of course, is Top Gun. Yeah. I learned a little bit about it. So, and I got to stand really close to the F-18.
Yes, yeah. We could talk on this pretty much all day, but
Sure.
There's some other great things that are happening in your city. And again, I had a chance to see it being built from the bottom, from the foundation
You're
up.
talking about my senior
Yes,
center,
ma'am.
huh?
A beautiful
Senior
place.
center in Central Park. Our community is so proud. We just celebrated our 6-month anniversary, and it is 38,000 square feet in the heart of the park. And I don't believe this. I don't believe that we anticipated how popular it was going to be. I want to have kudos said about our staff. They couldn't be, they're working night and day to make it what it is, and many, many thanks to them especially.
Yes.
And we have, of course, a facility, workout facility and yoga and rooms, classrooms for if you want to learn computer. There's lunch every day, of course, and it's right in the heart of the park. So I'm very happy.
Yes, indeed. We had a chance to go there and do some scenes from there for one of our programs, and I tell you, just the general atmosphere of staff and the seniors is just amazing.
I think it's a really good place to hang out, right?
A good place.
And you know, it's really just a real dedication to the seniors who really developed our community.
Yes.
Because we would not be who we are without the foundation of them and their commitment to making the city of Huntington Beach what it is today.
Yes, indeed. We move on to new technology. As you know, the times there are changing, and you guys are getting hooked up with social media, the internet, and all those type of things.
Well, what I'm excited about, as you know, I'm a real estate broker, and I noticed about 10 years ago, very seriously throughout our county, people were, connected, and if you weren't connected, you couldn't do business. And the other thing that's happened is a lot of our small businesses work out of homes.
Yes.
And if they aren't connected, then we need to help them. And even our bigger businesses, our Boeings and Harbor Distribution and things of that sort, they're large and their demands are high, so they need to be connected. And not until I started researching this did I realize how expensive it is. So the city has hired a consultant, and I think we're going to end up being on the cutting edge of that broadband.
Wow.
We have a dark fiber in our ground now. The dark fiber is just the fiber that's been laid by the companies. It's not, they put more in because they know they don't have to dig up the ground again and again. And this way, our city made a very smart decision to purchase 11,000 Southern California Edison light poles. So we will own them and we will maintain them. So our broadband advantage will grow because people can connect their cellular sites right on the pole, right here in Huntington Beach. If they'd like more information, of course, they can contact us at the city.
Yes, indeed. And how important is it to own the poles?
Oh my goodness, this is one great thing. Seriously, it helps the city save money for our residents.
Yes.
Here's just a quick example. One pole, the city has to replace the light and maintain it every 3 to 5 years. With the new LED lighting, it's anywhere from 18 to 20 years.
Yes.
So there's a savings right then and there. I think it's also going to be a moneymaker for us because, as I mentioned, we'll be able to have individuals who are in that arena, who are in that business, an AT&T, a Verizon, put their cellular connections on the poles, will receive income from that. So I just think it's a big, smart decision that we made, and I'm very pleased and very proud that Huntington Beach was willing to step out and take the lead.
Yes, indeed. Mayor, thank you so much for being with us. A lot of great, exciting things going on. And did we miss out on anything? Anything else?
You know what?
add?
You and I could talk all day. I'm really proud of my city. I'm
Yes.
so proud to be the mayor.
Yes.
And I hope I can come back and brag some more with you sometime.
Absolutely. You know you're welcome.
Okay, I'll do that for sure. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Good to see
appreciate
you.
it.
All right, stay tuned for more City Works. We'll be right back.
Do you have diabetes? Join the movement to stop diabetes as a Red Strider at the American Diabetes Association's Step Out Walk to Fight Diabetes. Join hundreds of walkers who share your passion and showcase the courage it takes to live and thrive with diabetes. Gather your friends, family, and coworkers to walk with you and raise funds to help change the future of diabetes. Sign up today at diabetes.org/RedStrider. Together, we can stop diabetes, one step at a time.
Welcome back to City Works. Joining us now is Carol Warren. She's the mayor from the city of Stanton. Mayor, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And so glad to have you. Now, I've been wanting to do this interview because Stanton is one of those cities that's kind of tucked away and folks hear about it but don't know a whole lot about your city. Tell us about your city.
Well, first, that is so right. Stanton's been around since the 50s and even earlier. I mean, we go way, way back, but we reincorporated through the years, and so we disincorporated, we came back, but we're nestled between Anaheim and Garden Grove and Westminster, and for businesses, we're an ideal location because we're within all the major freeways. We have about a 40,000 population. We have Beach Boulevard that goes right through the city, and that has about 90,000 cars a day. And we're a good city for business, and we're a great city because we are a small community in Orange County. So we're a small community in a big area, and we're pretty close. We're a close-knit little group.
Yes, indeed. And a lot of great things going on in your city as well. Let's talk about Central Park. People have been buzzing about that, and you guys have done some unique things there.
Yes, we have. Central Park is a crowning jewel of our city, and it's an 11-plus acre park. And what the really unique thing is that through all the trials and tribulations of the last recession, we really learned how to think outside the box. And so what we did is we approached some of the businesses in the city to do a public-private partnership with us, along with grants that we received. And so what they're doing is two of the businesses in the city are financing the maintenance and ongoing things in the park for the next 20 years.
Wow, wow. And also, you all are working on the infrastructure. You're doing some things in the streets, the sewer areas. Speak to that, if you will.
Yeah, because we are that little city that nobody really knows about, we really want to have a good identity when people come through. So
Yes.
we've been working very hard, and we've done new wayfinding signs in the city. We've redone our median, we've redone our city signage, and we're not done yet. We're doing more. And what's interesting is we're working with the other cities up and down Beach Boulevard
Yes.
in the Beach Boulevard Coalition, because Beach Boulevard goes from the ocean to the mountains. It's one of the only streets that does. And so we're really looking at how to make Beach Boulevard within itself a destination for all the cities up and down Beach Boulevard.
Now, you mentioned earlier about businesses, great location for businesses. Let's talk about some of the new businesses that are coming into Stanton.
We're thrilled. We're going through kind of a renaissance right now because we've worked hard. We went through all kinds of problems with the redevelopment going away and all that, and it just held up a lot of projects for the city. But we finally are resolved with Sacramento. We're good to move forward, and we have a lot of new businesses coming in, and we're going to see a lot of ground being broken this year for new businesses. Starting from the bottom of our city, we have a new Starbucks.
Yes.
We have 2 new medical buildings coming in. One of them's an Alzheimer's, another one's for dialysis. Moving on up, at the center of our city, we're going to be having a whole new retail area, and it's going to be a place where people can go have a cup of coffee and relax, or they can go have a donut and relax. So we're looking forward to that area. Then further up in the city, we have a new Del Taco going in, and there's plans for a lot more development on Beach Boulevard. It's just a lot of it's still in escrow, and we can't really know the details yet.
Yeah, let's not forget Del Taco, one of my spots. I'll do that. How important is it for a city to be business friendly?
For us, it's paramount. That's one of the main focuses of our city is to be as friendly as we can with businesses. We have an expedited business license process. We one of our council members, Rigoberto Ramirez, is very, very focused on the business community. We have a business alliance that meets every 3 months for lunch, and it's just all the businesses in the city talk to each other and help each other and work on issues that they're all facing. We go around the city and do drop-by visits to businesses saying, how are things going? What can we do to help? We're very, very hands-on with the businesses in our city, and we've had a huge influx of new business licenses this year, so it seems to be working.
And that's unique because that's the advantage that a smaller city has, is they can make the one-on-one contacts and they can get up close and personal with those that they're talking to. And it makes for more of a community type, wouldn't you say?
That's very true. In fact, one thing that our city does is we have neighborhood meetings. And this is where the city council and our senior staff members, we go out in the city and we have these meetings. They could be 1 or 2 a month. And that way I know where the potholes are in the city. I know where that funny flickering street light is in the city. It really lets you know what's going on within your city. Our chief of police is there, so if one neighborhood's having problems, he knows about it. And they've got his business card, they can call him directly for help. Yeah. So we love those neighborhood meetings. It brings a level of service to our citizens that I don't think can be matched.
Yes, indeed. Mayor, where do you hope to take the city as mayor in the future? Where are we headed? What would you like to see in the future?
I think the biggest thing I can say is that we continue to work with our residents, we continue to work with our nonprofits, we continue to work with our veterans, we continue to work with our businesses, and the discussions always lead to the most innovative ideas you've ever heard. So I can't tell you definitely where it's going, but it's definitely going in a positive direction.
Yeah, and we don't want to leave out the youth. I've had an opportunity to go and visit one of the Boys and Girls Clubs there and that type of thing. Very important.
We have an outstanding Boys and Girls Club, and the kids in Stanton, they're a great group of kids. It's really amazing how many of them come and volunteer their time for the city events. The park, we try to bring them in. We have movie night at the park throughout the summer, and it was so well attended. We were just amazed. We've probably had 100,000 people through the park since its opening in July. Wow. And so the kids in our community are involved kids. They're a good group of kids. They're a diverse group of kids, and we're just thrilled to be able to be a part of their lives.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I just can't wait to take a little cruise through there and just see what you all are doing down there.
Anytime. Come on by.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll be back with more City Works in just a minute.
It costs about 60 cents for one can of food, and about $80 to send it where it needs to go, and even more for storage. When sending help to those struck by disaster, eliminate the middleman by sending cash. Cash can provide food, water, medical supplies, shelter, and so much more. Cash is best. For more information, visit cidi.org.
Welcome back to City Works. Joining us now is the Honorable Mayor John Collins from the City of Fountain Valley. Sir, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
So glad to have you here with us. And give us a little overview, if you will, of Fountain Valley.
Well, Fountain Valley is 9.75 miles square, and pretty much a square too. And one of the things that makes Fountain Valley a very nice place to live is that when the city was formed 60 years ago, they were one of the first cities in California that had a master plan. So everything was kind of laid out. This was going to be residential, this would be commercial, and so forth. So it took away a lot of the anxiety and attacks by other people during the last 60 years because it was pretty well master planned. Now, some things have changed over the years because a lot of it was agriculture back then too. But some things have changed. But one of the reasons was the master plan. And the city is called the city of a nice place to live because of Ray Cromer, who was the city manager, went out and several years ago, and he decided, gee, I wonder what the citizens want to have done better, or what we're doing that we shouldn't be doing. And he talked to a lot of citizens, and he came back and he said, I can't believe it. The number of people who had problems and the people who were very energetic about the city, almost all of them came back with, it's a nice place to live. And that's how we adopt that motto. So we didn't go out and pay some consultant to come up with a motto. It was from the people itself that surfaced up and became our motto.
Yes, indeed. And let's talk about your tenure as mayor. You've been mayor several times.
Yes.
Tell us the history of yourself with the city and your mayorship.
Well, the history of myself with the city goes back to I moved here from Boston back in 1974, and I was working for Xerox Data Systems up in El Segundo. Myself and another fellow left there, and we started our own business. Actually had an office in Huntington Beach, Pioneer Business Corporation. And I joined the Chamber of Commerce, and I became a board member of the Chamber, and I was chairman of the Government Affairs Council. And one of the things that happened back in '87 was that the city was talking about changing some of the zoning from agricultural to commercial. And there was a zone area that they were going to change that was farmlands down around Talbot, the waterbed, and what is it, Euclid would come down there. And they were going to change that and put in a price club there. Well, a lot of the citizens in that area didn't want it because they were worried about the traffic, et cetera. So they got enough signatures, they got it on the ballot. The citizens of the chamber asked me to head up the other side of it because I was very much in favor of doing it. And I did. I would go around to different schools and debate the other side. And I was going to a Masuda school one night, and I got a call at my business office saying if I went there, I would leave dead in a door bag. They were going to kill me. And so I called the police. They had police there, and I went and we did our thing. And basically we passed it, I forget what it was, about 60 to 40%, somewhere around there anyway. And when Saul Price was opening up the Price Club after it was built, he said, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, he said, this would not have happened if this was not for John Collins' effort in this thing. And I was just so pleased with that. So I got involved with different things. I ran for city council. People asked me to run in 1988. I lost by a few votes, very few, a couple hundred votes I think it was. So I ran in '90 and I won. I've been elected 7 times. I've been mayor. This is my 7th time as mayor of the city. And I've been on the council for 26 years, and I'll be another well, 2 years, a little less than 2 years now.
And going into 2017, what do you hope to accomplish?
Well, there's a lot of things we're looking at. A lot of them are financial. We just recently passed, the citizens voted for and passed it, Measure HH, which was to add 1% sales tax to the sales tax in the city. Right now, the sales tax is 8%. We get 1% of that. Now it'll go to 9%, and we'll be getting 2% of that. So that money comes on board to help retire an awful lot of debt that we have, about $30 million, I think, in debt and so forth, that we've incurred floating bonds to do things and roads and stuff like that. And so that money will come in, and we're going to have a citizens oversight committee that will help watch how we spend that money and where the money goes and how effective it is. So that'll be good to report back to the citizens of the city that we're being watched by the citizens, which is good.
Fountain Valley is like a melting pot of all different types of cultures and people. How do you satisfy everybody in the city?
Well, you just try to run the city in a good and fair, equitable way. I mean, we don't try to focus on any one culture. We basically try to run the city so the citizens are taken care of, make sure we have police and fire. About 70% of our budget is for police and fire. We have a $43 million budget a year, approximately, a little more than that now, I think. But basically, we take care of our citizens and keep our roads in good repair and watch out for their well-being.
Yeah. As mayor, what do you see in the future for our youth? That's always been a problem and something to talk about.
Well, the youth, we have a lot of youth programs. We have a big area. Miles Square Park is owned by the Orange County. The county owns it. We have, I think, 80 acres up there, 83 acres, that we rent from them, basically. And I don't know how many sports fields. We have a whole bunch of them anyway, soccer fields, baseball, softball fields, and so forth. So we have a lot of leagues. Women's fast pitch is coming up, I think, this weekend. They're going to have their grand opening for this year and so forth. And one of the things I did when I got involved in '74 with the city, one of the first involvements I had with the city was I was an umpire back east there, and I became an umpire-in-chief of a league called boys baseball. And I got on the board of directors, and we basically got into the Pony League confines because they had their a lot better regulations and stuff. So I did a lot of that. Now Pony baseball is really big time in our city.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I understand you're celebrating your 60th anniversary.
Yes, Fountain Valley on June 13th this year we'll have 60 years of celebration, if you will, of that. When this city first started, Jim Kano was the first mayor, and Jim was a Japanese guy that got a lot of people try to get at him, but he was a terrific guy. In fact, I had him swear me in one of the times I became mayor. And just a really good example of how to run a city in a fair and equitable way.
Yes, indeed. Well, continued success, sir, and
so.
Come back and see us, huh?
Okay, you got it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more City Works with Mayor Tree Ta right after these messages.
I know they never make me play with these guys, but why do they make me train like them?
Training hard is important, and for professional athletes, it's their job. But kids aren't professionals and shouldn't train at that level. Keep kids safe on the playing field and out of the operating room. Become an advocate for sports safety. Visit StopSportsInjuries.org.
And welcome back to City Works. Joining us now, the mayor from Westminster, Mayor Tree Ta. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
And thanks for coming. I've been wanting to do this because you've been kind of a special person to me. I've watched you throughout the years and some of the things that you've done, and I'm so impressed by what you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into our questions. And I believe you're the first mayor of your culture to be a part of Westminster.
Thank you. Yes, I came to this country in 1992 at the age of 19. And after I came here, I went to college studying computer science at the beginning. But after that, I realized that I didn't do well in math and physics anymore. So one time when I took a political science class, a professor, he called me in. And at the time, I was kind of really nervous. I didn't know what happened to my first exam, but he explained to me that I did pretty well on that exam. So he recommended me to continue my study for political science. So I decided that I study political science. But at the time I want to be a professor in political science. But after I get a degree in political science, I got involved in the community. And more than 10 years ago, many members in the community, they came to me and they encouraged me to run for office. And I did, and I make it. So being a public servant, giving it a lot of opportunity to listen to people, and I just want to give back to the community.
Yeah, and indeed, you're in a very unique position. Your city is a melting pot of diversity.
Right.
And you have to come to grips with all the different cultures in order to make your city work.
Yes, I really appreciate that. Yeah, my city is really diverse, so I just want to make sure that everything we do, I want to include everyone. I want to provide services for every community. So we have a lot of good projects. We improve our park for the last few years. We approve our general plan. We continue many good services for our senior. We have many opportunities for our young people. So basically that our city really good right now, but we continue to be in partnership with other local agencies and other non-profit organizations to improve our services for our people. Yeah.
You had mentioned earlier about a partnership that you formed with the city of Stanton to help save some money for the people in Westminster.
Yes, last year the city council and we approved the partnership for animal control services with the city of Stanton, and by doing that, both city could be able to save a lot of money, and I think that's a really good solution for all the city right now. I mean, we continue to maintain good services, but at the same time, we try to save up all the money so we could able to use that kind of extra money for other services. So what I'm to do for the next 2 years, I continue to work with other local agencies for the federal, the state, or other local agency to make sure that we continue to save more money, but at the same time, we provide more services.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I know part of your general plan is to improve your parks as well as your residents.
Yes, last year the City Council and we approved our general plan. And for our general plan is like the road map for the whole city. With that, we could be able to bring more opportunity for our business to invest in our city, but at the same time, we continue to operate our park for our residents and many other services. Last year and the last few years, we would be able to operate 22 parks in our city. So I just want to make sure that the family, the resident in our city, they have a really good time every time they bring their family to the park.
Yes, indeed. I know another aspect is being business friendly. Speak to that, if you will.
Yes. More than 2 years ago, I initiated that our city, we need to improve our city business ordinance. And the last few years, we could be able to streamline business application online. And at the same time, I work with my college on the Westminster City Council, and I work with my staff to make sure that we continue to improve our business ordinance. We want Westminster to be more business friendly to the business community. We just want to make sure that we bring more businesses. We want to make sure that we would be able to save time for the business people so they could have more confidence on the city Westminster.
You, along with your colleagues, have an invested interest in our youth.
Right.
What are some of the things that you're doing for the youth?
Yes, we have a lot of opportunity for young people, for the students in the local school in our city to get involved with city of Westminster. We have youth committee, and for the youth committee that the students from different high school in our city. They could able to have an opportunity to get involved with city events, to learn about a city government, because what I truly believe, everything we do, we should do for the future generation. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we have a really good future generation. In the future, they could be able to step up to be the leader of our community.
Yeah. Mayor Trita, thank you so much. I have so much respect and admire you, and continued success, not only with what you're doing now, but in all that you endeavor. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, that just about does it for this episode. For more information about your mayor, simply log on to your city's website. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on CityWorks.